never, ever buy this piece of Okay, we figured out what kind of items we shouldn't buy, and now we'll proceed to some useful stuff. Hey everyone out there, my name is Daria and you're watching the Movavi vlog, your go-to channel for creating cool videos. And we keep testing our filming equipment today from Aliexpress. If you haven't watched the first part, check it out right here or by following the link in the description. There we unpacked all these items and made a review on stabilizers. In this episode, we're going to throw a battle between expensive rigs and cheap ones. And in one of the next episodes, we'll tell you what dollies are used for and if a motorized version is worth overpaying for. In the description and somewhere here, you'll find the time codes if you're feeling impatient or if you're already familiar with some items. But before you start watching, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell if you still haven't. Well now, rigs. What are they and what are they used for? First off, they help stabilize a video due to its additional weight and the comfortable grip. It's hard to believe, but one can stabilize a shooting process just by increasing the camera weight, since the heavier the camera is, the harder it is to shake it. And secondly, there are additional mountings for a mic, on-camera light, a monitor, additional storage battery, or a chocolate bar. In other words, the most essential stuff for your comfortable shooting. Now that the purpose of rigs is clear, let's move on to their review. Smartphone video rig. It costs around $13 without LED lights and about $21 with two small LED lights. There is also a complete set which supports one big LED light or a boom microphone. This kind of kit is super comfortable. Here's where you put your phone. Here you place the lights. Your microphone, recorder or lavalier receiver should be attached right here. And hey presto, you're a mobile reporter. You can even fasten an action camera here and shoot from two perspectives simultaneously. Let's go, hurry up. How would you comment on it? What is the secret recipe of taco? It ain't that easy with a mic though. To make your phone run smoothly with a mic, there should be 4 pins on a mini jack, just like a Boya lavalier has. And if there are 3 pins on a mini jack, you're gonna need an adapter. It's way easier to hold a rig than just a phone. Besides, there is nearly no opportunity that you'll accidentally touch the screen. Also, it's much easier to make some complicated maneuvers with your camera. Besides, the picture happens to be much more stable. By the way, playing car racing games is comfy too.
Woohoo! Let's get it, baby! I'm the fastest driver ever.
Does paying extra for the rig with 2 lights make sense? I guess so. Just a single light like this would cost around $10, and here we've got 2 for the same price. There is a brightness controller on each one. You can vary them and create a nice light contrast on the face. The capacity of the lights is even enough for shooting in pitch darkness. However, there is a feeling that the light rather flashes into your eye instead of producing light. So, if you've decided to shoot a mobile interview, keep a close eye for brightness. The LED lights can also be detached and spread across the location as an additional source of light. They are supplied with 2 AA batteries and don't have a built-in charger. It's not convenient for home use, however, when you're on the road, it's quite comfortable and you can find a replacement in any stall. So it can all be installed on a tripod, or extra holders can be screwed in. All in all, it's a really handy item. I would highly recommend you buy one. Let's move on. Your grip is a bit more expensive. In its official store, it costs around $15, but you can always find it cheaper from resellers. This thing is truly universal, even more universal than the first item, because you can put your phone here, as well as an action camera, a photo camera, handycam, whatever that is. However, I wouldn't recommend a thing like that for full-frame cameras, since it's made of plastic and it will barely withstand a lot of weight. It also has 3 mounting positions for accessories and a screw thread for fastening on a tripod. By the way, if you were unaware, this type of fastening is called a shoe. It can also be called a hot shoe if it has some electrical contacts, just like a camera has. A grip like that can be held from below, sideways, or from above. The latter grip is really comfortable for low-angle shooting. However, if a camera display doesn't lean back, you won't see a thing, just like with the phone. One other benefit is that you can always put it on the ground and it'll always stand firm, unlike this smartphone video rig. One of the drawbacks is probably the very idea of plastic we've mentioned before. You shouldn't hitch heavy equipment on a shoe. My verdict is this thing is definitely worthwhile. I'd recommend you to go for this option if you're shooting with your camera rather than a phone and if you're into dynamic shooting. Let's proceed to more expensive items. The Andor cage, which cost us a whopping $46, but it's just because we picked a cage for a large full-frame Sony camera. There are cheaper cages, like for compact cameras. First, and probably foremost, as a rule, the cage should be selected for each particular model of the camera. That's how we ended up with its first drawback. It's not a universal tool. It's highly unlikely that you'll be able to mount something else there. If we look on the bright side, though, there is access to all the important elements in the camera, like buttons, USB drive, the battery, and so on. So you won't have to take out your camera each time you need to change something. And it really matters, since setting up a camera in this cage is a big hassle. You know, it's like fitting into jeans after you've recently washed them. Sure, there are universal models, which are generally more expensive and larger, by the way. There are also fewer mountings on them, and they are less ergonomic. Also, the cage is like a second layer of protection. Damaging your camera in this thing is way more difficult. Now let's consider its usability. There are so many openings in here, each one with the screw thread of 1/4 inch or 3/8 inches. There are two shoes, and since the cage is made of metal, you can attach some heavier equipment, like, let's say, an articulated arm with a monitor. But since we don't have a monitor, we just attached a recorder. Even if we had no such items around, the cage itself adds up some weight and size to the camera. And that's a good thing, because it is easier to hold it and the picture will be smoother. It especially concerns compact video cameras, which are pretty tiny and light. That's it with the advantages. Let's move on to the disadvantages, which are plenty. Holding a camera with a standard grip is extremely uncomfortable, because the edge of the cage is pressed against your hand. Holding it by the handle isn't a good idea either, because the center of gravity is pushed forward a lot. Speaking of mountings, let's say you've received this cage and you go like, wow, there are so many openings in here, I'm gonna fasten all this stuff right here. And you grab your phone, you go like, to put it simply, you'll need additional mountings which will have screws of the right diameter on their ends. It's important to acknowledge that a cage is just a frame, a specific structure that you can attach fastenings, grips, holders to, and all other kinds of things which you'll have to previously purchase. And before you purchase, you'll need to think it through. The outcome. You'll need something like this if you're determined to take up video shooting. Only then will you realize what kind of equipment you need to attach to your camera. Unboxing and review on RIGS, the finale. For dessert, we've got this big boy. The structure is as simple as 2 sticks, literally, just these 2 sticks. They come with 3 plates and 2 handles. The plates can be installed from any side, so the handles can be placed both at the top and at the bottom. I guess there are some clear upsides of this thing, such as a convenient grip, the ability to set it up the way you need to, and a lot of space for some additional equipment. There are some clear disadvantages though. The diameter of the cavity on the plate isn't big enough for the screw. The ear-type screw hole clings to the edges and doesn't let the screw in till the end. Let's just remove the ear-type screw, but here comes another unpleasant surprise. The screw is too long. It's just impossible to fasten a camera on the plate since its screw thread isn't deep enough. To set up your camera, you'll need either a shorter screw or a ball head. The ball head can in a great deal expand the functionality of your rig, by the way. Even if the picture turns out to be not stable enough with the rig, you can always turn to program stabilization. Open up Movavi video editor and upload your video. Select the clip you need. Go for the settings, stabilization. Choose the suitable settings and click Stabilize. You can check the result in the preview window. Click Apply. And now you might be wondering, like, Daria, what the hell? Which item got to win? Which one am I supposed to get? Let's recap. Smartphone video rig. A perfect choice for shooting with a mobile phone. It's comfortable and it's functional. Yeah, it's made of plastic though, but it's light. U-grip is the most universal one among the ones presented. It's suitable for almost all types of technical equipment, although it's not the most reliable. We recommend you get one if it's not just your phone you're shooting with, but also a camera. Also, if you don't want to fork out but still want to try out a rig, it's the right item for you. A cage for a camera is safe, compact and heavy. It's just the base for the whole other body kit, and it'll come in handy if making a video is more than just a hobby for you. And finally, this huge thing. It's super comfortable and you can find a bunch of various mountings for it on Aliexpress. But getting the one with its complete body kit will cost you a fortune, and the size is impressive enough. It'll do if you're most certain you're gonna dive deep into video making. That's it for today. Thanks for watching this video, and let us know in the comments if this episode turned out to be interesting and useful for you. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up and hit the notification bell to make sure you're not gonna miss the upcoming episodes. Bye!